Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Cabral Concept. I'm Stephen Cabral, board-certified naturopathic doctor, and I want to thank you for joining me here today on our Motivation and Mindset Monday. Hopefully we've got a great show for you today. It's going to be talking about how to minimize and overcome growing pains. And I'll tell you right now, everyone, no matter who you are, is going to need to know these techniques in order to upgrade your level in life. And that has everything to do with career, relationships, health, weight loss, body transformation, whatever it might be. Because really what we're talking about is this. We're talking about taking it from where you are right now, your results from where you're at right now in life. And again, most people don't stay stagnant. They're always moving. They're trying to just go a little further, a little bit more in life. And that's not a bad thing. It's really not, because when we're growing, when we're trying to do more, be more, have more, whatever it might be, we are then actively pursuing things that typically energize our body, our soul, our mind, all those things. But with that, absolutely does come a little bit of what we call growing pains. So let's just kind of explain right now what growing pains are. Then we'll talk about how to minimize them, how to overcome them towards the end of the show, give you a nice little action plan. So really growing pains is we have this pain inside of us, a nervousness and anxiety and apprehension. That's a feeling that our body sends to us really physiologically. So we might get queasy, we might get nervous, we might start to sweat. We kind of draw away. It's almost like most people with public speaking. You get nervous, and that's just because, again, like that's looking at bringing a message, what you have to say or whatever it might be, to a greater audience. That is a real form of anxiety and nervousness with most people. But our brain is doing, because it's saying you're about to move out of your comfort zone. This is scary. Your brain tries to protect you then from its old survival-based limbic part of the brain. So again, you get the overwhelm, you get the irritability, you get the anxiety, the apprehension. And that's literally saying to you, stay where you are. Don't go into this scary territory. We know that where you're at right now, you're not exactly happy, but at least you know this space. You know how to cope with your current life. And again, it might not be your favorite place. You might not be in the best relationship. You might not like how your body looks. You might not be healthy, but your body is at least comfortable with it from the standpoint that it knows how to deal with this situation in life. Now, the second reason you can really experience growing pains is because you're about to explore uncharted territory. If you've had an autoimmune disease your entire life and you just believed it was genetic because all your doctors told you that, your family told you that, and you started reading like, whoa, my autoimmune disease may be a repercussion of what's called epigenetics, which means I don't have to have the expression of this disease or dis-ease in my body. But what happened was something went wrong with my life, my environment inside my body, and then allowed for that expression, meaning like there was some type of heavy metal toxicity. There was some type of environmental toxicity. There was some type of immune imbalance. There was a virus. There's a virus inside the body. There's leaky gut, intestinal permeability. There's a food sensitivity. There's something going on in my body which is now allowing for the expression of these genes. And I don't have to have that. And you start to read this and you say, oh, well, I mean, this is brand new news to me. Like, I can't believe this. You're saying that I don't have to live with Hashimoto's, rheumatoid arthritis, MS, lupus, any of these things? I don't have to live with a debilitating psoriasis? Like, this is not something I need to deal with and be medicated for the rest of my life? That's groundbreaking for a lot of people. And the truth is you don't. But now, for the very first time, you need to figure out how you're going about changing your diet, changing your gut microbiome, getting your immune system rebalanced, doing a detox. Like, these might be all brand new things for you. So what's happening is, again, that just overwhelm starts to come in. And when you start to implement one of those plans, you know what? Very, very likely, you're not going to get it right the first time. How many people do? The best example is this. You know, I have 2 young girls. I remember them starting to walk not too long ago, especially my youngest daughter. She fell many, many, many times, even more than my oldest daughter. And that has to happen for her literally to build the strength in her legs, not just learn how neurologically to but build strength, grab onto things, move from item to item. And you need that same thing. You need to literally build the strength in those mind muscles of yours and neurologically and gain some experience. And we're going to be talking about that in a moment. But you are most likely, I don't call it failures, but you're going to have some ups and downs. You're going to have a little bit of ebb and flow. And that is a lot of times, though, where most people give up. is just too hard, they say. I just don't know if it's for me, or I tried and failed. Well, I'll tell you this. I tried and failed many, many times, and I did give up many, many times. I'm not perfect, and I never said that I was. And, even today, as much as I've learned, as far as I've come, that I believe, again, it's subjective. It's just me that we're talking about. There are people much greater and people maybe not at the same level. That's kind of all how we fall in life. And again, it's subjective. But for me, I'm always going to then encounter new things I've never experienced before. And I might not be great at it that very first time, 5th time, 100th time. But if it's important enough to me, I need to keep pushing. So if your health is important enough, if your relationships, family, career, finances, body transformation, spirituality, whatever it might be, if it's important enough, that's the biggest thing. It has to be a priority. It has to be important, because I'll tell you what, it takes too much energy, too much time, too much self-motivation to push past to that other side, to get the thing that, yes, will make your life absolutely valuable, but it's a thing that most people do not achieve because it does take some work. I'm not afraid to say that. I'm not the person who's just going to give you the information that you just want to hear, that's all happy and all those things. I'm going to tell you, getting to that other side, the breakthrough is tremendous, and you'll be happy for everything that you had to go through once you get it. But of course, as we know, as we've heard, there is a little bit of a journey. And a lot of times, and I'm telling you this, once you get to the other side, once you get that thing that you wanted, whether again, it's the relationship, it's the body, it's the health, it's the finances, whatever it might be, oftentimes we find, well, it wasn't necessarily as great as we thought it would be. Like, it's fantastic, don't get me wrong, but really what was amazing was everything you learned along the way that now made you into a stronger person, which, guess what? Now you're going to say, okay, that was great, but now, because remember, you're just whetting that appetite, you're moving on to that next thing, and then you accomplish that, and you move on to the next thing. That is what energizes people. That's what gives them life. When you see someone who's excited, who has energy, it's because they love what they do. They love where they're at in life. They just feel a lot of passion to that, and that passion is contagious in their life. It energizes every cell of their being. So now, how can we get you to really live a life of purpose, right? To feel like your life matters, or to get you to a better spot in life? Before I even wanted purpose in life, again, we have to go back to Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and I did a previous podcast on this. I believe it was probably called, something like Maslow's hierarchy of needs. But Abraham Maslow, so really great psychologist, philosopher, psychologist, but came up with this hierarchy of needs. And so when you're at the lower rungs, meaning like when you don't have food and shelter, you take care of that first. You're not thinking about, doing something, I don't even know what a good example would be, really cutting gluten out of your diet, right? When you don't even have food, you don't have shelter. That's why, we can look at our struggles, but always there are people who are struggling even more than us. Now, it doesn't invalidate our current struggles in life. It doesn't at all, because again, it's important to us. But what we look at is that there are different levels, and Abraham Maslow calls them kind of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And once you get to basic food, shelter, water, all of those specific things, then what your last thing is enlightenment, creativity, giving back, being of service to others. That's kind of how you know that you've accomplished everything that you need to in life for you. So now it's all about service and giving back to others. And I hope, at least that's what I strive for. That is where I feel like I've gotten to after many, many years of work, and only because I've kind of learned from brilliant people, really great mentors, a lot of books, a lot of reading, a lot of kind of self-exploration. And it's what I want as much as possible for most people to strive for in their life, only because I know that it's when you reach that point, and again, you're always ebb and flowing out. I spoke about that on a previous podcast, 437, the Zen Myth. Really, I thought a good show, because it lets you know that myself, anyone, and again, I don't put myself up on any type of pedestal, because believe me, if you hung around with me 24 hours a day, you can see that I'm far from perfect. But what I try to do is have perspective. My two favorite words are perspective and gratitude. They really are. Perspective to see, no matter what my challenges are in life, it could be worse. I've had things a lot worse. Regardless of other people, I've had things a lot worse. And I'm very grateful for where I'm at in life right now. Do I want to achieve more? Yes, I do. I absolutely do. And that energizes me then to get to that next level. And I believe in terms of longevity, I'm telling you, when you look at studies and all this, when people retire, when they don't have a hobby, when they don't have anything to keep them going, people go downhill fast. So we always want these growing pains. So now let's talk about it. We're always going to have growing pains because we're always going to be moving to that next level. So the first way to minimize growing pains, the first way to minimize all this anxiety and nervousness about doing something different is simply to understand that the feelings are going to come. They're going to be there. It's completely natural. I know that, the first time I ever got into like publishing a book, and this was a while back, I had no idea what I was doing. I, probably got taken advantage of by a bunch of different people. But now putting out a book, yes, there's stresses involved with it. I know what I'm doing. It's no longer really as much of a growing pain. I'm not nervous. I'm not anxious. None of those, specific things. Or the first time I had to take like SATs, we'll say, for college, whatever it might be. It's just a first for everything is what I'm trying to explain. But here's the thing. Once you know that, you're able to translate that into other areas of your life. So you just have to do this. You understand that you're going to start to get these feelings of nervousness that are trying to hold, your body's trying to hold you back to protect you. But it's okay. Feel that fear. Understand it's normal. Just don't let it stop you from taking that next step. Also, a few people ask me about, are there any nutritional supplements that can help me along? Yes. Cleaning up your diet, lowering inflammation, using things like magnesium, using things like ashwagandha, or HPA Adapt, or Adrenal Response, or Cortisol Manager to lower cortisol levels, especially in the evening, or using something like our Deep Sleep formula, which has the Best Rest formula, and it has the magnesium citrate to help calm down that anxious brain at night. Those work exceptionally well. So you use them for short periods of time as an adaptogen as you're trying to go through this the new you, taking those next steps. And we'll talk about that in a moment. And then also another way to help minimize this is just say, can I find a friend? Can I find someone who wants to take this journey along with me? A family member, a friend, or maybe you're just part of an online support group like we have at cabralsupportgroup.com, which is just very like-minded, positive people only. We only allow positive people in. We do allow people to share their struggles, but we don't allow people to just complain. Complaining, it just doesn't get you anywhere in life. It really doesn't. It honestly doesn't. Everyone has issues. What we want are people to say, here's what I'm dealing with. How can I overcome it? We want to help people with possibilities. That's what it's about. Okay, so now how do we overcome these growing pains? And growing pains, again, are the initial failures, the anxiety, the overwhelm, all of those things. Well, first, surround yourself with some positive people. Join an online group or other groups of people looking to lose weight, get well, whatever it might be. Again, make sure they're positive, make sure they're moving in the right direction, not just sharing why things don't work. Trust me, that's only going to bring you down. So surround yourself with positive people. It's like a little force field. I mean, honestly, you have all these people who are just trying to when one person's having a bad day, the others bring you up. When you're having a bad day, other people bring you up. It's leaning on each other. Really nice thing. Okay, you can always hire a mentor or a coach. I'm at the point in my life where I've just kind of, as best as I can, no one gets rid of it completely, certainly not me either, but it's just trying to hammer away that ego, just put that ego in a closet. If I don't know something, I am very, very likely now to just hire an expert in that field, whatever it might be. Honestly, whatever it is. Okay, I don't know how to build a website. Well, I just found someone, good referral, I can have them build my website. I don't know how to set up a health spa. So when I first opened my wellness center, I knew exactly what I wanted. I knew all the treatments. I knew this, and this. I didn't know the software to check people in. I didn't, what do you need in a massage room? I know what you typically need, but you also need table warmers. You need this, and this. So I had a checklist of what I needed. So, what I'm just saying is your goal, if it's weight loss, well, then you could hire a personal trainer who specializes in weight loss and body transformation. What if you have an autoimmune disease? Well, maybe you find a nutritionist, a naturopath, some type of natural health practitioner that can help you with those specific things. Or you could do a lab test and you can say, oh, the lab test shows the reason why I have rheumatoid arthritis or whatever it is because I have small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, I have candida overgrowth, I have anything, right? It could be a lot of different things. That's an organic acid test. The hair tissue mineral analysis might show that if you have heavy metals like mercury or lead or aluminum, all of those things can exacerbate the immune system as well. So what I'm trying to say is I simply do this. I say, now I didn't, remember, so I struggled for many years, but I said, okay, you got to a level that I want to get to as well. Can you teach me how to do that? Can you give me your plan? Okay, I'm going to implement your plan. I'm literally going to copy it. I'm going to put myself in your position. Until then, I know it so well that I can then make it my own. So now our health spa is very different than almost any other place that you would go to, because I'm drawing upon my studies, my internships, my residencies in India and in Sri Lanka and in China and in the Netherlands and in Europe, where I got to work in natural clinics and hospitals and facilities to say, here's how they do it, and here's what we have in the U.S. to be able to implement those things. And so then you can make it your own, but only when you've gotten so comfortable and know another person's inside and out. Hopefully that makes sense. All right, one more way, a third way, so my last way to really overcome these growing pains is you can do something bold. You can tell people, you can make a public announcement. Now, this is only really that you plan to follow through to this. Like, it's such an important priority to you that if you didn't do it, you'd be mad at yourself. So you put it out there. You say, I'm going to achieve X by this date. And then now you have people who are going to hold you accountable. You ask people to hold you accountable to that, and you show them your progress. People do this online with weight loss. Okay, I want to lose 50 pounds, and I want to do it in 6 months. All right, so that means I need to lose about 8 pounds per month. Hold me to that. That's about 2 pounds per week. Make sure that I'm posting every week my photo, my weight loss, my struggles, my victories, all of those things. That is bold. That is very, very bold, but I'm telling you, that sometimes is what gets people to finally make that breakthrough. Really, really powerful step. But only use it if you've decided that whatever your goal is, that you have to achieve it, that you really feel like that would be a huge regret in life if you did not do that. And then just pull out all the stops. Hire the mentor, do the lab, find a plan, hire the personal trainer, whatever it might be. And then hold yourself accountable as well. So now it's kind of like you're firing on all cylinders. Read self-help books. Another thing that I like to do. To this day, I've read thousands of books. I keep reading because I need that daily motivation. When I start to get a little bit of a bump in the road, wow, this person experienced the same exact thing. Here's their perspective of how they overcame it. Really, really powerful stuff as well. And then just understand this, that we all go through this. Literally, I've worked with Hollywood celebrities who are what we would consider just in amazing shape, not feeling great about their body, okay? I've worked with professional athletes, top of their game, worried about what are they going to do next season? What are they going to do when the contract comes up? They got an injury. Are they ever going to be able to perform again? How do they get back out on the field? I've worked with everyone in between. Like CEOs worried about that. If anyone ever finds out about their anxiousness, that they're, the drugs that they're taking to be able to lead meetings because they're on anti-anxiety drugs, all of those things. So remember, everyone experiences this. Every single person, no matter what level you're at. And again, there are no levels in life. Like, no one's more important than anyone else. I just want to make that clear. However, what the levels are subjective to you. So you're at wherever you feel is a certain level, okay? So when I was very, very sick, that's a level I didn't want to be at. I didn't have the energy to legitimately, people think I'm kidding, to legitimately walk up a flight of stairs because my heart rate would go through the roof, my legs would fill with lactic acid, and I could feel my heart beating through my chest. It was not an option. I had to stop, and I had to sit down or lie down on the stairs on the way up from my first floor of my house to my bedroom, which was literally just 2 flights. I stopped on the landing, and I lied down. That is the truth. I had no option. I had no choice. My heart literally felt like it was going to explode. So I didn't want to remain there. The level for me after that was I need to be able to walk up the stairs and have enough energy to be able to get back to school so that I could graduate high school. And then after that was college. I want to be able to not get sick every single weekend I went out with my friends because I just didn't get enough sleep that night. Okay? I don't want to get a sinus infection twice every single month from November through March. So again, we just make these levels. And then after that, I was like, oh, I'm feeling pretty good. Now I want to be able to get back and exercise. Now I want to be able to do a sprint triathlon. Now I want to be able to open my own business. Like it's just it's your levels. And we all have different desires in life. So mine went from health to now being able to teach health, to then being able to open up 2 clinics and practices in Boston. And I'll tell you this, I've experienced all different types of growing pains. And I'll tell you this, the only reason why you get better at minimizing and overcoming these growing pains is because you've gone through it then so many times. You know what to look for. You're like, okay, this next 90 days, I'm going to start a brand new thing. I'm going to be more stressed. I'm going to be more irritable. I'm going to feel overwhelmed. I know it's going to come. So now I'm just going to try to breathe through the process and understand and draw upon all my previous victories. Because remember, everyone has victories. Everyone has victories in life. You just need to think about what you've overcome, what you've already achieved. And you have achieved things in life. Maybe it's not exactly where you want to be, but you have achieved things. Draw upon those, right? You've already achieved more than a lot of other people could dream of. Now, your dreams, you have to make a reality as well. So here's the thing. Once you find your priorities, your goals, what you would regret not doing in life, that's where you start. And I'll tell you this, that once you also start feeling that you're living your purpose, like this is what I'm meant to do, you'll be energized. Yes, you'll be a little nervous about going after it, but that nervousness is also excitement. You feel this, just excitement to wake up every morning to work towards that goal. That's how you know you're on the right path. Sure, you'll experience anxiety. You'll fail a couple times. There's the ebb and flow to life, no doubt about it. But I'm telling you, once you find your purpose, or your purpose is what gives you energy, what makes you happy. Is it potentially you helping family, you helping others, or you moving yourself through school, getting yourself in better shape, and whatever it might be. What energizes you, the excitement, the possibilities, that's how you know you're on the right path. And I'm telling you, if you just follow that excitement, because you're going to have good days and bad days, nothing will be able to stop you, and you'll be well on your way to feeling like you've achieved something in life. That what you do and who you are absolutely do matter. Thank you everyone for tuning in to another Cabral Concept. I appreciate each and every one of your listens. I hope you have an amazing week.